So, I, like the moth attracted to the light of a bug zapper for simple neuron activation, have once again found myself floating back to Planetside 2 out of pure curiosity and, well, a lack of better judgment. Simply guys, I wanted to check out the Sunderer update, and at the risk of being too blunt for my own good here, I didn't really think that my confidence in the game's future could get any lower than what it was yesterday, but here we are. Turns out this update is full of surprises. G'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today let's talk about the Sunderer update and the flow-on effects it has had to the gameplay of Planetside 2. So guys, as we get into the video here today, I really want to establish something here that I know if I don't do otherwise, it will come up in the comment section down below. That being, in the context of gaming, you can have fun with something and still acknowledge that it is mechanically a bad thing to have exist in said game. I get it, we all have our guilty pleasures or our cheesy strategies, or in some cases, pure exploits that see us having fun in the games we play. But especially in the context of PvP shooters, fun does not always equal a healthy direction for the game and offering a healthy gameplay environment. And this week's Planetside 2 update that focuses on the Sunderer vehicle, without a doubt, falls into that category. Did I catch myself sporting the stupidest grin on my face while romping around in what I've dubbed the weaponized magic school bus? You betcha, was laughing like an evil villain from Go to Woe. But to suggest in any capacity that the changes that have come to the game in this update are healthy or are good for it objectively speaking, just because you're having fun with it, is a biased, short-sighted opinion, and part of the reason why this game keeps falling into the pitfalls that it always does based on community feedback. Now, I'm not going to be doing a complete technical breakdown of the changes that were made to the Sunderer in this video here, but as an overview, here are the quick headliner points. The Sunderer's upgrade slots have been recategorized into deploy, armor, and cargo slots, with the defense, performance, and ability slots being gutted entirely. In light of these changes, the Sunderer now holds the full level 3 stats boost from the old Rival Combat and Racer high-speed chassis by default. Now, side note, that is a massive change in of itself before we even get into the other abilities here that makes the Sunderer stupidly nimble by comparison to what it once was. But more on that shortly. We've also now got the following upgrades available in each slot, starting with the deploy upgrade slot. We now have a deploy shield, which adds a bubble shield to the Sunderer's deploy mode, as opposed to, just shielding the Sunderer itself. A stealth module, which cloaks the deployed Sunderer as per usual, and a point defense module, which adds an increase in muzzle velocity and rate of fire to the Sunderer's weapons while deployed, at the cost of damage over range. The armor upgrade section includes the reactive armor, which features a set of armor plates that can mitigate damage based on the direction of damage taken. We've also got the nano armor, which adds a passive, never-ending, I want that to be clear, passive never-ending heal to the Sunderer that can also be activated like an ability to dish out an extreme amount of healing, basically enough healing to print out a brand new Sunderer. And then we've got enhanced plating, which I imagine is simply going to be a replacement to blockade armor, but I didn't really read into that ability too much. And last, we've got the cargo slot, which has the following new abilities. Repair an ammo tower, that used to be something that could just be passively equipped to the side of a Sunderer and move with you on a mobile basis. Now you've actually, placed the tower down to dish out repair and ammo to your allied vehicles. A scout radar tower, which, does as it sounds and reveals enemies on the minimap in close proximity. And the gate shield diffuser tower, I think it's called, which basically allows all vehicles around it to breach enemy gate shields as required, which means now that Sunderers don't use gate shield diffusers, they now have a area of effect gate shield diffuser in a way. So yeah, ultimately, this is a total teardown and rebuild of the Sunderer from top to bottom, all with the end goal here of making the Sunderer more survivable, especially when deployed, to let it better achieve its role of being a spawn point in the game, all the while offering it some more utility to, provide support to, say, armor columns. And look, sure, I'll give credit where credit is due here. The likes of the deploy slot in particular are steps in the right direction to achieve what the update set out to do so. But let me tell you this much, folks. Beyond somewhat improving those deployment abilities, the update has undoubtedly failed its mission. Instead, the update has turned the Sunderer into an offensive Frankenstein vehicular manslaughter machine that has in one swift motion, in one swift update, completely obliterated what vehicle balance the game had left, which you guys have been seeing in the gameplay in the background thus far. Fights are dying just as quickly as they did before prior to this update. Spawns are still falling prey to attackers very fast with very little standing presence, and overall the game still feels exactly like it did before the update. But now, there are these tricked out murder buses roaming around that only feel like they can be countered by sheer numbers or by user error on the crew's behalf. I mean, as I said, you guys have been watching the gameplay in the background so far, but just in case you haven't or it hasn't registered yet, every single vehicle in the game is not safe from us in this Sunderer. A single Sunderer rocking 2 trawlers and the nanite armor upgrade can simply wipe anything out. I mean, just right here, look at the repair speed and the HP gained when my driver activates the nanite repair ability. It basically 3D prints you a whole ass brand new Sunderer that lets you completely undo any mistakes that you made as the crew or the good plays that the enemy armor made on you. And with the baked in performance upgrades that are being introduced as well to the Sunderer at the moment, I shit you not when I say that we ran down the likes of harassers in this thing. In a bloody bus, we were able to chase down the nimble guerrilla warfare-esque vehicle of Planetside 2 in a bus. Like, sit there and tell me that that is fair and balanced in the vehicle game. I'll wait. Not to mention that we were able to face tank pretty much every MBT in the game without issue. MBTs with secondary gunners fall prey to these new Sunderers, and don't even get me started on the lightning tank. If you're a lightning main in the game right now, don't even bother logging in. We are calling the lightnings at the moment throughout this gameplay session cert vending machines, and the gameplay should make why that's the case very obvious. Just ultimately, guys, it feels like this update has tried to fix a problem with the Sunderer that it never had, which in response has completely sidestepped the actual problem that should have been fixed and compounded that with new problems altogether. Make no mistake, a Sunderer should not be able to do what it can do in the game right now, ever. This is meant to be a support vehicle and a gameplay logistics vehicle that keeps the spawn points of fights active. It should not be this tanky, menacing vehicle where a single Sunderer in of itself can completely destabilize the vehicle balance itself. Me personally, guys, I was really hoping that this update would go a long way to improving a Sunderer's survivability in its role as a spawn point and a spawn point only. The biggest issue in the game right now is the length of fights and how easily spawn points are sniped out from underneath attackers. And all of the changes that have been made in this update don't do anything in assisting a Sunderer in dealing with, say, a tank sitting up on a hill sniping away at its position. That much has not changed in this update, and instead of addressing that problem, or, working on the base design to better fit Sunderers into more bases, so on and so forth, they've made a change that instead makes the Sunderer better at going out and killing that tank that's on the hill by itself, but by virtue, that means the Sunderer is no longer a spawn point, thus killing the gameplay flow even more. The update just feels out of touch, and it just shits on the core balance of the vehicle game more than any other update that I've seen thus far for Planetside's lifespan. That includes Combined Arms Initiative, by the way. I mean, yeah, Combined Arms Initiative was bad, but I can't see a literal reason to run any other vehicle in Planetside right now other than a Sunderer, and I truly mean that. And unfortunately, if this is reflective of the age that we're in with this game's direction, and what happens when we try to address key core problems with the game itself, then it's buried any degree of confidence that I had in this game making any kind of progress this year. Especially given the announcement that, we had a new dev team working on this game now. I don't know, man. I didn't expect the game to be completely fixed of all my concerns with it in this one update. That's unreasonable to believe. But regardless of that, I would have at least hoped for a little bit more progress in the right direction, but it feels like we've taken a whole leap ass backwards with this update. And again, if that's going to set the precedence for the kind of quality we should expect going forward, then yeah, they might be speedrunning this game's death if they keep this up. Truly, guys, I wish I had better news. I wanted to come back to the game, checking out this update and going, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm actually excited. No. That's just not what happened here, and I'm just not going to sit here and fluff around the truth. This is what's happened. This is the state of Planetside 2, and me telling people any otherwise would be simply lying to their face, and that's not really what kind of business I'm in here as a content creator. But either way, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, if you enjoyed getting a laugh out of the dumb as hell gameplay I had for you in the background here today, then be sure to give the video a like, as it does go a long way to supporting the channel. And if you're new here and you want to check out more FPS content more broadly, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button whilst you're at it, guys. I've got some very exciting game stuff happening very soon, and I can't wait to have you guys a part of that journey. Once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good one.